Uh, and we were talking about problem solving involving algebraic fractions. We did a few examples. As you solve more and more problems, you know, your horizon broadens, right? Gets wider and wider. That means that we can look at things from wider angle or from very different angles. That's why actually, you know, in life, experience is really important. I mean, sometimes as you practice more, that means that you are gaining more and more experiences in solving problems. At the same time, it gives you a lot of self-confidence. Guys, we'll stop here. Let's solve a few more questions, okay? And after that, we will move to another part of this chapter. And I think I have already shared the practice questions with you. Okay, I will have a look again. And I hope you are practicing. If you don't have time, maybe you'll try to practice on Sunday, Saturday and Sunday. As you know, Saturday you're going to have a monthly test. As I told you, questions will be from chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, get ready. You can just sit anytime you like, but you should do on Saturday and submit before midnight. If you are late, and we will consider that you will not take this test, okay, I will just record like that. Good. Guys, let's continue then. If you want to talk anytime, if you want to share your thoughts about these problems, different techniques, anytime, you are welcome. Okay. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. So I will skip some of the questions. Maybe it is too easy. So let's continue from, what is it? From 12. I think that many questions enough. 12. Okay. Where is my pencil? Here it is. Let me use purple. A man walked for some distance at 8 kilometers per hour. Especially distance time problem, you're going to see this a lot, maybe in physics, in math. That's why especially students have difficulty in understanding this kind of problems. And that's why in every word problem, actually, mathematicians or the publishers or the writers, whoever is writing the book, they add this kind of questions. A man walked for some distance at 8 kilometers per hour. Some distance, immediately what comes to our mind, let's say that distance is D. And for an equal distance at 5 kilometers per hour. So that means that here, a man starts from here, right? And walking some distance. And after that, the same distance, right? And from A to B and from B to C. These distances are equal. These distances are equal. Okay. And the first part from A to B, his speed was 8 kilometers per hour. And from B to C, it says that his speed was 5 kilometers per hour. Continue. The total time he took was 3 hours and 15 minutes. Let's say he spent T1 hours to travel from A to B. And he spent, and let me just write here, okay, T time, T hours to travel from A to B. Musa, then how about from B to C? How many hours did he spend? For let me just change this 3 hours and 15 minutes. We know that that's equal to 3 and 15 over 60 hours, right? Which is equal to 3 and 1 over 4. Or that is 13 over 4 hours, converting hours and minutes into hours because our speed is in hours, so we have to write time in hours. So Musa here, Daphne, how many hours did he spend to travel from B to C?
X.
No, if he spent T hours from A to B, how about from B to C? How many hours?
T.
3 hours and 12 minutes minus T.
So that is 13 over 4 minus T hours, right? Because the total time is, what is it? 13 over 4. So T hours he already spent here to travel from A to B. So the remaining time is 13 over 4 minus T that he spent to travel from B to C. Anyway, find the total distance he walked. So what is the total distance? We need to find the total distance. Let's say from A to B, that is D. From B to C, it is D. What is the total distance he traveled? The total distance he traveled is 2D. So we have to find this 2D. So if we know the value of D, then we can find this 2D. The first step, let's form our equation. So what is d? We know that distance equals speed times time. That's equal to 8t. And how about the second part of his journey? The distance is equal to his speed is 5 and time is 13 over 4 minus t, right? Let's see here, the left hand side, d and d, they are equal, and also the right hand side must be equal. So that means that 8t should be equal to 5 times 13 over 4 minus t. So if we solve this equation, right, we can get the value of t. Then if we substitute in the first, that's our first equation, this is our second equation, we will get the value of d, either substituting in the first or second. Then if we just multiply the value of d by 2, we will have answered the question. So let's solve that equation. On the left hand side, we have 8t. On the right hand side, we have 65 over 4 minus 5t, right? Take to the left hand side, 8t plus 5t, that is 13t. That's equal to, what is 65? 65 is, we can write it as 13 times 5 over 4. And divide both sides by 13, we get the value of t. That's equal to 5 over 4. So now that is the first part. And how about the second part? We can answer the question. What is the question? Here we need to find 2d. So 2d is equal to 2 times d. What is d? I will just use this one because it is in the simpler form, right? So that's equal to 8 times t. What is t? T equals 5 over 4, which is equal to 8 over 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 5 is, what is it? 20. So dot, 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 find the total distance he traveled, the total distance he traveled was 20 kilometers. Okay, in total, he traveled for 20 kilometers. Okay, Musa, Defna, is it clear? So can you solve similar question? Huh? Okay, then Defna, just keep if you are keeping, actually, I suggest that to keep always a piece of paper or notebook and pen or pencil, okay? So I'm gonna ask the next question. If you didn't solve, did you solve question 13?
No.
No, okay. Musa and Defna, I give you 4 minutes, okay? So try to do the questions and tell me the answer. And after that, we will do it together. You have 4 minutes. And do it and just tell me the answer. If you're ready, you can start, read it, and do it. 4 minutes. Daphne finished?
Yes, I finished.
What is the answer?
I found it 30 kilometers.
30 kilometers, the total distance.
Yes.
Musa, how about you?
I can't understand.
Okay. Daphne, let's see if you're right or wrong. Okay, Musa, here a man cycled for some time. So immediately, sometimes let's say it is 3 hours, right? At 16 kilometers per hour and returned at 15 kilometers per hour. That means maybe from home, right? Let's say this is his home and he just cycled to the school maybe, right? In the morning, and after that in the afternoon, he just came back home again in the same route, but at different speed. When he was traveling from home to school, his speed was, what is it, 16 kilometers per hour. That is S1 was 16 kilometers per hour. But how many hours actually he traveled? We don't know. Let's say he traveled for 3 hours. And how about returning home from school? It says that his speed was 15 kilometers per hour. And in total, right, the total time taken was 7 hours and 45 minutes, which is equal to 7 and 5, 15. It is 3 over 4 hours, which is equal to 31 over 4 hours. So since the remaining time he spent to go home, right, to return home, then he spent how many hours? That is 31 over 4 minus t. Right, distances are the same. So if the distance between his house and home is d, so that d, right, d will be equal to 16 s1 times t, or 15 times 31 over 4 minus t, because also that's equal to d. Now first, let's just solve this equation and find the value of t, and after that we can find the value of d. So here 16t is equal to, on the right hand side, we have 15 times 31, 15 times 31 over 4 minus 15t. Take to the left hand side, 16 plus 15, that is 31t equals 15 times 31 over 4. Now if you divide both sides by 31, these two things are gone. From here, what is t? T equals 15 over 4. Fine. Good. Now, what is the total distance? The total distance he cycled is, that's the first step, maybe the second step. Actually, this one is the first step. This one is the second step. And third step is, the total distance is, it is 2d. That's equal to 2 times, what is d? It is 16 times t. That is equal to 32 times, what is t? 15 over 4, which is equal to 60 kilometers. Daphne, why did you get 30? Did you just
Because
find
I
a
thought
distance?
it was like one way.
Yeah, that's why actually you need to, here it says the total distance he cycled, okay? If you're solving multiple choice question, usually they put 30, and B 60, and C 90, and E I don't know, okay? You may get confused. The right answer is 60. Because it says the total distance he cycled.
I did
Yes.
it in a little bit different way.
How did you do that?
So I said like the area, the way it was x kilometers, and I multiplied 16 kilometers per hour with x and 15 kilometers per hour with x, which made 16x plus 15x the way that he traveled.
What do you mean? 16x plus 15x. What do you mean?
It, like, let's say there's a 100-kilometer way. If we want to find how much hour does that person go with, we have to multiply that area, that kilometers, with the speed. So like 100 kilometers
Okay, but
away.
here his speeds are different, right? When he's actually traveling from home to school, his speed was 16 kilometers per hour. And when he was returning home from school, his speed was 15 kilometers per hour, right? When you just travel from one point to another point, if you're traveling at two different speeds, actually your journey, both journey will take different times. And usually, Daphne, Musa, when we are solving this kind of question, these are speed time problems, okay? Right, what is speed? What is time? And write your equation. And after solve this, you will never get confused. Okay, that is a systematic way of solving these kind of questions because our formula D equals S times T. So what is S? Right, it's what is T and form your equation. And once we get algebraic equation, and the rest is quite easy. All right, let's continue. Another problem. Musa, can you read this problem?
A cyclist go from one village to another at 28 kilometers per hour. He turns at 24 kilometers per hour. If the return journey takes 2 hours longer than the outward journey, what is the distance between the villages?
Okay, guys, now can you try this? Musa, did you understand? A cycle
Mm,
goes from one village to another, right? That is, let's say, village one, and he's traveling to another village, that is village two, right? And when he was going from village one to village two, his speed is 28 kilometers per hour. And he returns at 24 kilometers per hour. When he's coming back, right, his speed was 24 kilometers per hour, right? And here it says that if the return journey takes 2 hours longer, because when he was returning from V2 to V1, he just slowed down, right? That means it takes more time because we know the speed and time, they are inversely proportional to each other. Because if you travel at lower speed, that means it takes more time. If you travel at higher speed, right, or faster speed, that takes less time. It's like traveling from one city to another city. By bike is faster, or by car is faster, or by plane is faster. Of course, by plane, right? For example, if you fly from Baku to Istanbul, it takes maybe a few hours, maybe 3, 4 hours, maybe even 2 hours. How about by car? It takes days, maybe. It's something like this. Anyway, so now if the return journey takes 2 hours longer than the outward journey, so the outward journey, let's say it takes T hours. Then what is the return journey? How long does it take? Then it takes T plus 2 hours, right? We are talking about the same distance. So from here, 28 T should be equal to 24 times T plus 2. It's always almost done. So you'll solve the next question now. So here we have 28 T equals 24 T plus 48. So here we have 40 equals 48. What is T? T equals 12 hours. What is the question? What is the distance between the villages? The distance between the villages is 28 times T, which is equal to 28 times 12, right? So that's equal to 10 times 28, 280, plus 2 times 8, 28, that is 56. That's equal to 336 kilometers. Oh, it's very far, is it? Right? Two villages, actually, I should say two cities, maybe. Anyway, it doesn't matter here. So that is how we solve this problem. Musa, did you understand?
yes, but at distance, when you find distance, why you take 28 kilometers, not 24?
So here, when he was traveling from V1 to V2, he traveled at 28 kilometers per hour, right?
Right.
So, and how long did it take? We don't know. It took, let's say, this 3 hours. And he returns at 24 kilometers per hour. So it is 24 kilometers per hour. So
I
since when he
understand.
was returning, he traveled slower. That's why it took more. By how many hours? 2 more hours. And these are distances, right? Actually, they are equal to distances. Distance.
Thank you.
Okay. This question, okay, guys, try this. 2 minutes. Okay. 30 seconds to read the problem. 1.5 minutes to solve the problem. Ready? Solve it and you'll tell me the answer. Start. Definitely finished. Musa,
Not yet.
not yet. Time. Definitely any answer?
I did have one, but I really don't think it's true. It's correct.
But
So I'm
did
not
you
quite
get
sure.
any result? What did you get?
I got 332.31.
Not a whole number? It must be a whole number. You're talking about the number of sweets, right?
I know, that's why I didn't say it.
Musa, how
I
about you?
could be wrong.
I don't think it's true, but I found that he had 18 candies.
18.
But I don't think it's true.
Maybe, I don't know. Let's say a boy has a certain number of sweets. How many sweets does he have? We don't know. Let's say that one is X. And it says that if he eats 16 a day, if he eats, what is that, 16 a day? That is like a speed. Actually, the same thing like distance equals speed times time, right? So now he has this many sweets and he's eating 16 a day. That's his speed. And this is the time, right? It says that 16 a day, 16 a day, they will last him 2 days longer than he is 18 a day. So again, we are talking about the same number of sweets, right? Here 18. As you see here, if you eat more, it lasts shorter day, right? If you eat less candies a day, it will take more days. So here, that means that this one is t plus 2. So this one is t. So that means that if you eat 18 candies every day or a day, actually you will just finish up all your candies in t days. Instead of 18, if you eat every day 16 candies, then it will be enough for t plus 2 days. So left hand sides are the same. So if you just form our equation, here we have 16t plus 32 is equal to 18t. From here, what is t? T equals 16. But what is the question here? The question is, how many sweets has he, right? So that is the first step. Second step is we need to find x, the number of sweets. That's equal to 18 times t. That's equal to 18 times 16. 10 times 18, that's equal to 180. 6 times 18, 60. It is 108. That's equal to 288 sweets. So a boy had 288 sweets. Okay. All right. So let's continue. One more question. Maybe after you may have some break. Now try this question, Daphna Musa. 4 minutes. And I hope this time you'll get a correct answer. All right. 4 minutes. Okay. Let's start.
I finished it.
What did you get?
672.
Mm, it looks good. 672. Musa, how about you?
I didn't understand this question.
You didn't understand the question?
What's what's talking about?
Do you know what is maths?
Yes.
Maths, right? We just make a fire, right? It's maths. And it has this small sticks, right? And we have boxes. So we are going to put this mass into boxes. Let's say we have this kind of mass, right? These are the mass. And we have a lot. And we have a kind of box here. We are going to put them into boxes, right? Small boxes, right? And we have a lot here. It says that a certain number of mats are needed to fill 24 boxes. Okay, what is the certain number? Let's say we need n mats needed to fill 24 boxes, with each box containing the same number of mats. So here we have n, right? That n will be equal to 24. Let's say into each box we put how many x mats. And it says that when 4 less mats are put into each box, there are enough for 28 boxes. Still, we are talking about the same mats here. This one is, the number is n. We have n mats, right? And continue. So it says that instead of these boxes, right, if you just put 4 less mats into each box, then we can fill 28 boxes. So we can fill 28 boxes. Each box contains how many mats? In this case, 4 less than the previous one. So that means that here we have 4x minus 4. What is the question? Find the total number of mats. So the question here is, we need to find n. So now again, as you just, we need to solve this system of equations. Left-hand sides are equal. So from here we have 24x is equal to 28x minus 4 times 28. Take 28 to the left-hand side. 24 minus 28, that's equal to negative 4. X equals negative 4 times 28. So from here, what is x? X equals 28. That's our first step. This is our second step. Now, third step, we can get the answer. We should find n, right? So what is n? N equals 24 times x. What is x? 28. So that's equal to 20 times 28, 560. 4 times 28, 112, which is equal to 572. So dot, 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 we are talking about 572 mats. Definitely you got the right answer. Okay, Musa. No?
I don't understand. What? That I don't understand. When for less match, for little, for little match.
But did you understand what we mean by match and box?
Yes, match. Yes.
Okay. So
I did it in a completely different way.
how did you do that?
I multiplied 24 by 4 to find out how much matches are we putting less? Like how much matches are we taking away from the normal boxes? I found 96. And then I divided to 4 because we will make 4 boxes with those, which makes 24. So 24 multiplied by 26 because each box has 24 inside them. 672.
Okay. Okay, Daphne and Musa, here our topic is algebraic manipulation of formula. Okay, of course, there's some problems we can solve in very different ways, but here, actually, this algebra is a kind of tool. What kind of tool? Very, very powerful tool to solve the problems. With this tool, we can solve any problems. But definitely what you're solving is maybe you're trying to do some mental calculation. Okay, if these numbers are a little bit like not whole numbers, that method does not work. So here, what we are trying to learn here is you need to introduce a suitable variable and denote the unknowns in the problem with that variable or with those variables, and write an equation. Once you write the equation, the rest is very, very easy. Other methods are also good for some simple questions. When questions problems get more complicated, those methods do not work. They work, but it will be very complicated. So the best way is actually algebra. Use a variable, form your equation, and solve this. Daphne, you can just take a picture, your solution, and send it to me. I can have a look, okay? Musa, let me just give you one simple example. All right.
I didn't actually solve it, sort of. I just put numbers down there.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't use algebraic way to solve this problem. That's what I'm trying to say here.
I tried to go to the easiest way. That's why I always do that.
Yeah, that way, Daphne, you will see that when the problems get a bit more complicated, those methods do not work.
Yes, they don't.
Because every time you do not deal with this kind of whole numbers. How about our number, some kind of root, for example, or decimal number, for example? At the time, by guessing, you cannot solve the problem. The only way is algebraic way. You have to solve, form your equation, then solve this and get the answer.
By the way, you wrote 572, not 672.
Yeah, 600, right? Because 560 plus 112, it is 672. 672. Thank you. Okay, Musa, one more time explanation for you. Okay, let me just give you a simpler example. Assume that we have 6 mats. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. How many mats do we have here? 6. Right? Now the question, if you have 2 boxes, okay, now we have 2 boxes, and we have 2 boxes. Okay, let me just draw this quickly. In each box, how many mats can you put, Musa? We have 2 boxes, right? In each mat, we can put 3 mats, and also 3, because here we have 6 mats, right? How many mats do we have here? 6. Now, instead of, how about if we have 3 boxes? In each box, we have to put equal number of mats into each box. How many mats you can put into each box? We can put only 2, 2, 2. Right? As you see here, if I just put one less match into each box, at that time we can fill how many boxes? 3 boxes. If I put 3 mats into each box, at that time we can fill 2 boxes. Right? It is very similar to this question, but instead of this, we don't have actually, the first case, not 2, we have 24 boxes. In the second case, not 3, we have 28 boxes. And what is the difference between the number of mats into each corresponding boxes? Here, 3 and 2 is 1, right? But in our problem, the difference is 4. You see, it is 4. Right? We are just forming similar question here. This similar problem, solution is the similar, okay? You should just understand like this. Sometimes if the problem is very complicated, just take one simple example that is similar to that problem and try to understand this. Once you understand this, then you can just generalize that situation to your problem. All right. Okay, another question, because this, all right, let's just continue from here, not skipping this question. We have 10 minutes, we can solve this question. Definitely, can you read the question one by one, and after that also at the same time we will just solve this together.
Okay. Mr. Ong makes regular business trips to Kuala Lumpur, a distance of 420 from Singapore. On his way up to Kuala Lumpur, he travels along the trunk road at an average speed of x km per hour. Write down an expression in terms of x for the time taken in hours to travel from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur.
Okay, maybe if you travel this region, you know, Singapore is another country, and Malaysia is another country. And
I went to Singapore before.
When?
I don't remember. It has been a while. I think like 2 or 3 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago, but you don't remember?
Yeah, like it was sort of not like I didn't went there. It was a visit. We went to someplace else. So we just stopped there for 2 or 3 days. We actually
Uh,
went to Seoul, Korea.
so did you visit any place? Did you visit the flower garden?
I did.
Hmm.
I took a few photos there and I still love to look at them. But I don't think there's that much like difference between the I don't know, fake butterfly garden or museum sort of in Turkey. I mean, they're in the same sorts. They're covered with flowers. There's a few butterflies and stuff.
Yeah. The flower garden, I know that is I like that place a lot. And also Marina Bay. Okay, anyway, this Singapore and Kuala Lumpur, the distance is about 600 kilometers. All right, not 600, 420 kilometers, right? Okay, the distance is 420 kilometers. It says that when he travels from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur, let's say S to K, right? It says that he traveled at an average speed of X kilometers per hour. Write down an expression in terms of X for the time taken in hours to travel from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur. Let's say the time taken from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur is T1. Musa, what is T? T is distance over speed, right? That's equal to distance over speed. And what is the distance here? Distance is 420 kilometers. And how about the speed here? Speed is X kilometers per hour. So distance over time, speed, it gives us time in hours. Okay, Musa, can you read question B?
On his return journey to Singapore, he travels along the north-south highway and increased the average speed by 15. Write
Kilometers
down
per hour.
50 kilometers per hour. Write down an expression in terms of x for the time taken in hour to travel from Kuala Lumpur to Singapore.
Okay, here, how about when he's returning from Kuala Lumpur to Singapore, right? Now, because of highway, no traffic jam, you can drive much faster. So now what is the time taken? Let's say it is T2. So now the distance does not change, 420, and his speed, it says that increases, right? Speed by 15. So his original speed was X. Now he traveled at X plus 15 kilometers per hour. So now definite question for you. Which one is greater, T1 or T2?
I feel like Q1.
T1 is greater. Why? Because if you travel at higher speed, it takes less time, right? At
Yes.
slower speed, it takes more time. So
And
T1
it's
is greater
because
than T2.
one
And the
is
next,
420 divided by x and the other one is 120 divided by 120 divided by x plus 12.
good. So in question C, if the time difference between the time journeys is 40 minutes, what is 40 minutes? It is 40 over 60 hours or 2 over 3 hours. Form an equation in X and show that it reduces to this equation. So that means that the time differences, we know that in the previous one, T1 is greater than T2. That means it's saying that this T1 minus T2 is equal to, what is it? 40 minutes. That's equal to 2 over 3 hours. 2 over 3. So what is T1? 420 over X. So here, C, 420 over X minus 420 over X plus, what is it, 15. 15, that's equal to 2 over 3. So now we have to show that we can reduce this equation into this form. And just what is it? Algebraic manipulation. 420 is a common factor. I can just keep it here, open bracket. Common denominator is x times x plus 15, right? Multiply the first fractions numerator and denominator by x plus 5. So here we have x plus 5 minus the second one by x. So here we have x. On the right hand side, we have 2 over 3. So this 3 cancels each other. 5 times 420 is 2100, and cross multiply. So here we have 3 times 2100 equals 2 times x, x plus 15. Or here we have 2, actually I can divide both sides by 2. If you divide by 2, here we have 3 times 1050 is equal to x squared plus 15x. Now, if you take everything to the right hand side, what do we have here? Here we have x squared plus 15x minus, is it 420? Okay. All right. It is minus 3150. That's equal to 0. Did we make any mistake? Why we got different answer? Musa, what do you think? Did we make any mistake here?
I don't know. I can't understand the common factor.
So here we have 420. You mean this one?
No, this.
Okay. Here, if you just take 420, what do we have here? 420, right? Here we have 1 over x minus 1 over x plus 15. On the right hand side, we have 2 over 3. Is that right? So now 420, common denominator is x times x plus 15, right? And here we have x plus 15 minus x equals 2 over 3. It should be 15, not 5, right? 15, right? So here we have 420. Okay, here we have, actually, here we have 15 times 420 because we are cross multiplying this. And what we have here, if you divide both sides by 2, it is 3 times 15. Actually, that's just 45. Okay, let me just write it is 15. And 420 is divided by 2. It is 210. So from here, okay, Musa, thank you, because you helped me to see my mistake, a technical mistake. So now, what is 45? 45 times 210. That's equal to 9,450. 9,450. That's equal to 0. Now we got the right, exactly that equation, right? Musa, any question? Which part you didn't understand? Okay. So you can just have a look. If you have any question, I'll answer. Now let's finish this. Solve the equation and find the time taken for the trip from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur. Okay, how do you solve this question? Actually, we just learned how to solve the question by factorization. So here we have x squared plus 15x minus 9450 equals 0. So can we just factor this as a product of two numbers whose product is negative 9450 and their sum is 15. So 9450, actually I can just write it after that, I can delete this. 9450, right? If you divide by 10, let's say it is 10 is equal to 945. By 5, it is 144.89. And 189, we can actually divide by 17, not 17, by 3, right? By 3, it is 63, by 3, 21, by 3, 7, by 7, 1. Yeah, it's a bit hard, but can we just factorize this as maybe like this, 1545, right? And it's 30 to 110. Doesn't work. And how about 135? Yes, Daphne. What do you think? Can you tell me two numbers whose product is 9450, I mean minus, and the year sum is 15? From here, how can we get this? Okay. We need to just think about the combination of these numbers. If I take, for example, okay, 2 times 3 times 9 times 5 times 5 times 7. All right. This one, 295, it is 90. 357, it is 105, right? Good. So 945, we can write it as minus 105. Let me just write here, times 90. That's minus 90. Okay. Let's see here, this combination. If I just take these three numbers, 295, that's equal to 90. And 3 times 5 times 7, that's equal to 105. Good. All right. And that's how we actually factorize a number. First, we have to find its prime factorization, and after that, so we can write it as 90 times minus 105. And this one is 90, no, it should be, this one is 90, right? This one is plus. Minus 90 plus 105. So we can factorize it as x minus 90 and x plus 105 is equal to 0. So x equals 90 or x equals negative 105. And what is x? X is the speed. And we know that x is always positive. It cannot be negative. So this answer is rejected. What is the question? Solve the equation and find the time taken for the trip from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur. What is the time that's Singapore to Kuala Lumpur? That is to 420 over x. So dot, that T1 equals 420 over x, that's equal to 90, which is equal to by 3, 14 by 3, 4. That is 4 and 2 over 3, which is equal to 4 hours by 20, 40 minutes. So from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur, it takes 4 hours and 40 minutes if you travel at an average speed of 90 kilometers per hour. Okay, Musa, Daphne, I think you're also a bit tired because all the time looking and the math, after all, every time your brain is working. As I say, you need to practice more problems, Daphne. But these word problems, every time different vocabulary, different problems, okay? The equations, every time you're using the same method, but word problems, every time, maybe similar method, but different questions. So try to practice these word problems, okay? I have already shared assignments, okay? Thank you very much, guys. I will send you your test on Saturday morning and try to do that on that day. And either you can do this opening with Microsoft Edge or print it out, do it and scan it and send it to me. Okay. Daphne, Musa, thank you very much. See you next week. Okay.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay. Bye bye, Daphne. Bye bye, Musa.
Bye. Bye.